and welcome back to a News You Can Use podcast powered by B&Us LLC. My name is Frenchier. I am the host and creator and business owner of B&Us LLC and a News You Can Use podcast. We are so grateful that you are tuned in to another episode of a News You Can Use podcast. Make sure you are going back and listening and downloading the past episodes. There are so many ways that you can contribute and engage and support and collaborate with a News You Can Use podcast. If you've been listening to the podcast already, then you've heard the radio spots submitted by MIDT Records and B&B Productions. Thank you so much. The artists, we play 30-second spots. They're already recorded. For JCD, the artist, the musicians JCD, David Nelson of The Last Poets, and Pharaoh Jarumba. So musicians are business owners. Send in your pre-recorded commercials to advertise and promote your businesses. Musicians, send in your music. I'll play it. Hope you've enjoyed my brothers out of Dallas, Texas, their music, Common Folk. I play a lot of their music on the podcast. Show a lot of local love. Tefpo. I'm familiar with the artist Mama Soul. I've been playing some of her music. My sorority sister, my big sister, celebrated 25 years as an AKA recently. Happy AKA-versary, as we say it. Silver Soror, Rhonda Nicole. She's an amazing artist. I play her music. Denisha. So I've just been playing so far almost 30 episodes, almost 900 plays of the episode, and I've been playing your music. I want to, the whole goal of this podcast is to provide you melanated people across the diaspora with information, facts, and news that you can truly use, while also highlighting Black businesses, Black brands, Black products, Black services, and Black positive music. Curating our narrative, curating a positive narrative for Black people. Also contact me to be a business spotlight. Market and advertise your businesses on a News You Can Use podcast. I know you've enjoyed Irvin Williams and Stefan West, Miss Caesar, Dr. D, True Trifecta, Kim Summers Mosby. A reach, rendering, encouragement, reach. We've had so many great people on already in the first 2 months. We look forward to all the other business. We look forward to speaking to you. So you may message us or email me on our social media platforms so that you can advertise your business on the podcast. Again, that's the whole goal. It was awesome talking to It's Just Live on Instagram today with 100.3 The Beats. Connecting with Rainy on 101.37. My friend Lord Sarbrook, he sends me clips from his podcast that I've been featuring as well. So this is a collaboration, you guys, and teamwork truly does make their dreams work. So our social media platforms where you can message us is B and Us LLC. On Facebook. On Instagram, it's at Frenchier. It's my name, FRENCHAIRE. On Twitter, Miss Frenchie 06, MSFRENCHY06. So very grateful for you. Thankful for you for shopping with me on all of my brands. I got a bunch of brands, a bunch of websites. B and Us LLC, that's my main brand. You can shop my brands and designs and art and all kinds of things. Just go look. Just take a look. BEANDUSLLC.com. That's BEANDUSLLC.com. Purchase your natural, organic, earthy, healthy products from me. Essential oils, cannabis products, teas to lose weight, creams for discomfort, things to grow your hair. Need help with your libido? We got that. Healthy Place Botanicals. My particular site is Frenchie's Wonders, healthyplacebotanicals.com. So FRENCHYSWONDERS HEALTHYPLACEBOTANICALS.com. The BNS LLC market has created and designed some products. You can buy those on Teespring, TEESPRING. Search for the B and Us LLC market. I designed using a piece of artwork that I created and I painted. I designed tote bag, Android and Apple phone case covers, phone covers, mugs in all different colors, and I also designed a pair of tights, some leggings. So shop with me. I am a distributor and the webmaster for Amber Bookstores LLC, which is a local bookstore here in St. Louis. The owner, Greg Reed, that's one of my partners. He's amazing. He's been in business the last 25 years. It's a mobile bookstore where you can buy all of your books. And what books we don't have, we're willing to order. So shop our books, www.amberbookstores.com. That's www.amberbookstores.com. Show up and show out. I'm also partnered with St. Louis Natural Hair and Black Cultural Expo. Our 5th annual expo will take place October 12th and 13th here in sunny St. Louis, down at the downtown Holiday Inn. October 12th and 13th. That's a Saturday and a Sunday. And we need a lot of folks. Come on. Teamwork makes the dreams work. Come highlight and showcase your businesses and your natural products at the St. Louis Natural Hair and Black Cultural Expo. We need sponsors, vendors, makers, bankers, financial experts, makeup artists, models, stylists, barbers. Contact Chris Simpson at 314-899-0401. Again, contact Chris Simpson, 314 899-0401 and email us at stlnhbce@yahoo.com. stlnhbce@yahoo.com. Thank you. We'll be back. If you listen to this podcast in Apple Music and Apple Podcasts, please rank and review the podcast so that we can be heard by more people. So go ahead and take a moment right now and write a review for a News You Can Use podcast. Thank you so much. Peace and blessings. I was just looking at the analytics of the podcast and how the breakdown of who's listening and how many people listening to each episode and the top episodes, and trying to figure out what did I do on the day that 147 of you listened to different episodes or listened to a episode on one day in March. Anyhow, I just want to thank all of all of our American listeners. 98% of the over 1,000 plays have come from America, but I want to get shout outs to the other countries that have been listening to the podcast. And I always say diaspora when I'm speaking about who I'm targeting. I'm targeting all blacks and all Africans and all melanated people, not just here in America, but in the world, globally. So I want to thank the UK for listening, Ireland, Norway, Serbia, India, Italy, Australia, Spain, and France. Appreciate whoever it was from those countries who listened to a News You Can Use podcast. I'm really grateful for you. I keep spreading the word about the podcast. Write reviews of the podcast that will help people to find the podcast. Definitely, if you're listening to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, definitely write a review and rank the podcast, and so that more people can listen to the podcast. I appreciate you. Much love. The quote of the day comes from Canva.com. That's Canva, CANVA.com. Perfection is achieved not when there is nothing more to add, but when there is nothing left to take away. Perfection is achieved not when there is nothing more to add, but when there is nothing left to take away. Quoted by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. And welcome back to the News You Can Use podcast. Let's join the Daily Refresh with John Lee Dumas from yesterday, March 4th, 2019.
Hello, JLD here, and welcome to the Daily Refresh, where I'll share a quote to inspire the mind, gratitude to warm the soul, and guided breathing to energize the body. And remember, when you begin your day with the Daily Refresh, you're setting the stage for massive success. And today's quote is from Zig Ziglar. People often say that motivation doesn't last. Well, neither does bathing. That's why we recommend it daily. Think about the last time you were fired up, you were motivated, and then a few days passed and it just kind of petered or fizzled out. My friends, motivation doesn't last. That's why we recommend it daily. That's why the Daily Refresh is for you. And now let's talk about something unique to be grateful for. The moment you have exact change. I mean, think about one of those moments when you've gone to the grocery store. This actually just happened to me very recently. It was $3.02. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to be carrying 98 cents around for the rest of the day. And I reached into my pocket and there were 2 pennies there. And I was so grateful for that reality. Now take a few seconds and think of something unique in your life that you're grateful for. It will warm your soul. And now it's time for guided breathing. We're going to follow the ancient practice of samavriti, which means equal breathing. This will reduce stress, increase focus, elevate your mood, and energize your body. So grab a seat and remember all breathing is through the nose, and we'll be breathing in for a count of 4, out for a count of 4, a total of 5 times, which will fully circulate amazing oxygen into your body. We'll begin in 3, 2, 1. Inhale through the nose. 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the nose. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 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 2, 3, 4. Relax. All 5 cycles are now complete. Your body is now fully energized with the life-giving power of oxygen. And congratulations, you've completed the daily refresh. And if you're not already, subscribe to the daily refresh on your favorite podcast app, and a new episode will be delivered every day. And if you're not listening to the daily refresh on Alexa, you can visit thedailyrefresh.com and watch my guided tutorial to make the daily refresh your flash briefing. So with a simple voice command, you'll be on your way to daily vitality. Lastly, you can leave me a message at thedailyrefresh.com of what you are grateful for, and I might just feature it in an upcoming episode. Now go conquer your day, and I'll see you tomorrow.
St. Louis dropping, popping.
Black bodies on the line. Let the creator elevate your mind.
New hits like this.
Like 3, you're out, no mistake. That's the way the pitch break. My old man, sleeping in his
The Redemption Song by V.
sometimes
Nelson.
grumbling and complaining, but always keeping on. A garden of fragrant flowers. Then you, woman, child,
Last poet, you know it.
flowering garden of my heart, and my heart open to you.
Pick it up at your local neighborhood stores.
Flowing out.
Welcome back to another episode of a News You Can Use podcast. My name is Frencher Gardner. I am the creator and producer of a News You Can Use podcast. The goal of the podcast is to bring positivity and just continue to remind us that us Black folks are doing amazing, positive things in the world despite what the news is showing us. And also to highlight Black business owners, Black positive music, and just to rep our stuff. So today is a great day. I haven't been recording the podcast in a while since I've been traveling. So I'm really actually excited that our guest reached out to me because he gave me some motivation to get back to the podcast. A little bit about myself. I'm just really grateful. It's a great day. Today is August 7th, 2019. It's about 10:08 a.m. Central Standard Time. I'm in Dallas, Texas, my hometown. Shout out to Big D. The weather today is lovely. It's not hot, so that's a blessing. It's 65 degrees in Dallas, about 57 degrees in Chicago. It's about 84 degrees in Accra, Ghana. It's about 83 degrees in Lagos, Nigeria, and 79 degrees in Havana, Cuba. And today we have our special guest. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Pretty excited to have Donovan Muldrow as a guest on the podcast. I'm grateful that he reached back out to me to do this. So welcome to the podcast, Donovan.
All right. How you doing? Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing very well. Monday for me is the best day of the week, in my opinion. Just wanted to. Well, one of my goals this year was to switch out the whole, case of the Mondays thing, and now it's the pace setter for the rest of the week. So it's a fresh new start for the week every time, and
that's right.
Today, like you already said, the weather is beautiful down here in Central Illinois as well, in Bloomington normal. So, everything's all good. I'm pretty sure it's October 7th though. So I'm not sure if this is a episode for like the past.
No, yeah, it's October 7th. You're right. What did I say?
I didn't. You said August 7th, but you was in your flow, and I didn't want to interrupt you. I was like, yo, she's on it, so I just had to make sure that people.
Thank you. Yes, it's definitely October 7th, and almost the end of the year. We've made it this far. I'm very grateful for that. It's been a good year thus far.
Yes, absolutely.
Donovan, how did we meet?
I believe, I think you reached out to me on Instagram, or
I did.
I think it was like a post or something like that, or
yeah.
Or you asked to, and you said, hey, appreciate the follow up, which is actually really refreshing because not a lot of people do that. You know what I mean? So a little gratitude, a little appreciation just for, something small like that goes a long way. And, you end up doing a podcast for somebody and adding some, some value, some content.
Ashe, it's super dope. So tell us what your background is. Tell us about yourself.
Background. Let's see. You got the time?
Yeah, I do.
No. The shortened up version is in sociology, but some people might get mad at that because technically I did not graduate in the Department of Sociology. I graduated with a bachelor's in university studies, which apparently university studies means that you don't really know what you want and that they don't want you to stay at the university for too long. So they make a very general sort of degree or discipline that you can graduate with. And, so that way you can just get out so they can make more room for other people.
That's funny.
But I am a personal trainer, and I tried to get into, some typical personal training, higher education degrees, like a kinesiology or exercise science. But at the time when I knew I wanted to be a personal trainer, there was actually no more room.
Okay.
And so I had to change up my discipline, what I wanted to graduate with, probably about 6 or 7 times.
Oh, wow.
And I settled on sociology, but, I wasn't that great at school. I'm not that great in the classroom. I have more street sense or common sense than book sense. And they told me something about, this universe. That was the easiest thing. But it turns out for what it is that I do, which is working with people, on a daily basis, that sociology, I think, to me, is more helpful than any other discipline, simply for the fact that you can learn how to make workouts and make programs. People do it all the time, but that is connecting with people, understanding people, listening. These are things that I learned on an academic level, and therefore graduated with a much larger understanding of the world around me, of the people around me, and I'm more accepting of that. And so that's really kind of what helped propelled me into not just personal training, but
Cool. Now, sociology, that was I got my degrees in sociology, so that was cool to read that.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I got a psychology and a sociology degree.
Oh, that's what's up. Yeah, psychology was just too much writing, so I was like, nah, I'm good.
I know, that's the way I felt when I was trying to do political science, because I wanted to be a lawyer. I was like, oh my God, this is too much.
Oh, wow.
I had to switch that up fast.
Hey, yeah, I don't blame you.
So what did you? I saw that you were a football player and you ran track, and so I ran track too. So what did you run in high school?
Okay. High school, 4x1, 4x4, 400, 200, 100, long jump. I messed around with triple jump, but that really wasn't my thing. But before high school, I did cross country, and then I realized that, things were a lot more fun when the race ends quicker.
Yes, Lord. Hilarious.
So we have an indoor and outdoor. I went to Homewood Flossmoor High School in the south side of Chicago, in Homewood, Illinois, and I went to ISU to run, but I realized that that there wasn't. And so, at some point, I was like, you know what, I'm going to need a job, and when I get out of college, and I knew I wasn't going to go pro in anything, but in high school, that was a lot of fun. I still communicate with some of the guys that I ran with today,
nice.
And just seeing them all be successful in whatever it is that they do, and that's one of the great things about sports is, it teaches you about discipline and camaraderie and stuff like that.
That's true. So how did health and wellness become so important to you?
It always was. Growing up, I grew up in, like I said, the south side of Chicago. But my family is from the projects. We grew up in the gardens and then moved to my grandmother before she passed. Lived in Roseland, and none of those places are places you want to move to.
Okay.
I'll just put it that way. And so, I always wanted to be, just bigger. I was kind of a scrawny kid coming out of high school. I think I was in the low 180s. But, even then I wanted to be
okay.
Mr. Athlete. And in sophomore year of college, I was in the dining hall, and I was thinking about, what I'm going to do for my career after college. And I saw that there was an ad for a personal trainer at the rec center on campus. Okay. And so, I looked at it, I read it, and, my girlfriend at the time said that, this might be something I'm good at, and I never stopped exercise. I never stopped lifting since I started in high school. When I started playing football, that was my first exposure to the weight room. Okay. And a pretty decisive individual. So, if it's something that I want to do, I'm going to stick with it. Okay. I don't really, I've only held down maybe 3 jobs in my entire life. Oh, wow. First, I started cleaning toilets at daycare centers, and then I started working at the dining center, which is no more, at ISU, Southside Dining Center, recipe. And then I started working, when I decided to be a personal trainer, started working. The spots weren't open. There were seniors that needed to graduate in order to make space.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was I figured I'd at least get my foot in the door, and I became checking people in, checking out equipment, things of that nature, and that way when those spots opened up, I would just walk right in. I would already have a good relationship with the coordinator, the person who's responsible for hiring people and stuff like that. So by that time, I'd already been there for a year. They already knew my intentions to be a trainer. And so, once the opportunity opened up, but I also ended up becoming a fitness instructor, which is very different, but I messed around and evidently became the first male fitness instructor ISU has ever had.
Oh, wow.
So that was sort of a neat experience.
I'm sure.
But yeah, that's pretty much the process of how that went. And that was about 12 years ago now.
Excellent. And so tell us why is it so important for you to share your fitness gifts with others? I mean, guys, you could have just worked out and just stayed, healthy and well. You didn't have to share the gift. So what made you want to share the gifts with others?
Well, it's interesting because when I first looked at it, I looked at it as a job, as a career.
Okay.
And so, I looked at it as a means to an end. And, because when I weighed my options, when I considered the position,
okay,
I was like, okay, well, let's see, I like being in the gym. I like working out. I like helping people.
Mm.
And, this seems like, a really, really fun opportunity to do that. And I just looked at it as a job. But then when you do something for a while, you realize you become very good at it.
Sure.
And I kind of realized this year, and it's kind of a thing that I say to people, a thing that I say to myself is, your passion kind of becomes a gift. And when you realize you have that gift becomes a responsibility.
Mm.
And I think for a lot of people, when they realize they have a gift, that's why they call it a gift. It's to be shared. It's not to be kept.
True.
And so, I stuck with it for like I said, for 12 years, for a really long time. And, once I realized that my passion was a gift, I realized that, like I said, that gift was a responsibility, and I stuck through it. At one point in time, I wasn't homeless, but my living situation became compromised, and I ended up staying on a friend's couch for 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay.
I had to borrow money from the gym that I worked at, my friends, my dad, which I never do. Even my clients, like I had no shame. But like I said, that's how decisive, that's how serious that I thought this was, because I didn't think, and I still don't think, that I would be as of help to the world and to the people around me if I was flipping burgers or in retail. And not to say that there's anything wrong with those things. I just know me. I just know who I am and what I do, and I think it would be a tragedy if I were to take those gifts away from people. So I literally did whatever I could. I had, other friends who had dogs to watch my dog or to have them over at their house, because the house I was staying at temporarily already had 2 dogs. So, I had to respect, their situation. But, like all good things, I came out of it. I have an apartment, a place to live. My dog's healthy, I'm healthy.
Yes.
And all the money's been paid back within a relatively reasonable time, and things just take off from there. So, And at one point, I did actually have $6.38 in my bank account. So that's how real it got.
I heard that.
You know?
Yes. Nice. So tell us about Green Top Grocer and your involvement in the store.
Oh, well, Green Top Grocery is a co-op grocery store here in Bloomington, Illinois. They were recently voted as the best, I believe specifically the best food co-op in the country. I think there's over 200 stores, so that's pretty significant in my book.
Yes, it is.
They are placed on a side of town that is a food desert, and it's literally, you know, funded by the community. It took a lot of effort, a lot of dollars, as you can imagine.
Yes.
But you know, this is something, you know, again, once people realize that you have something and you realize the significant impact of it, it becomes a responsibility. So at every cost, you make it happen, and that's how Green Top came to be. I became one of the owners, kind of like, you know, owning stock, so to speak. You know what I mean? So
I do.
You know, you don't even have to live there or live here to be an owner. There are people who moved away. There are people who don't even live here, and they heard about it. And I believe it's $200 per household. So, I mean, you can call them up over the phone, tell them who you are, you know, and you know, there you go, you're an owner. And of course, you know, while you're here, there's some benefits to using that. I'm sure there are some while you're away as well, for people who have left or do not live in the area. I don't know the specifics on that. I believe it's on the website. But in particular to what you're talking about, so I developed a video production company out of a necessity last fall.
Okay.
And, you know, just making videos and, you know, promotional stuff and things like that. And I had to do that to promote my own business.
That makes sense.
And, you know, and it all started, people were reaching out. They were complimenting me on the videos. How do I make the videos? And next thing you know, people are asking me to do videos for them. And so I ended up making a business out of it. I reached out to them. I think it was earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they said, no, they weren't ready for anything at the time. And, you know, I didn't think anything of it, you know, just go about life. And then they hit me up about 2 or 3, almost a month ago, to say that they were not only ready, but they were ready to market themselves in front of a much larger audience.
Yes.
And so the project that I'm working on right now is their first and my first televised commercial.
Congratulations. That's exciting.
Thank you. Yeah, it really is. It's kind of funny because, you know, with the whole video process and stuff like that, it was all self-taught. And
Straight
I really
up.
mean that. I sat down for months. I became obsessive, as Kobe Bryant would say. And I just sat for hours and hours and hours just learning about filmmaking, learning about, you know, what's the right kind of camera, the whole setup, you know, the different lenses, things of that nature.
Yes.
And when you begin to understand things and you learn about things, it becomes fun.
Of course.
You know, everybody likes to win, and you know, when you win, you have fun, and when you learn, you have fun. When you understand things, you have fun. So, I think that's ultimately why they chose me. I mean, I'm not the only business here in town that does media for businesses, but
Sure.
that was the other thing too, is that I wanted to only do businesses. I didn't want to do birthdays and graduations and a lot of other stuff, but to really carve a niche to say that, hey, this guy only does businesses.
And why did you choose that?
Why? Not to be a contrarian, but I just like being different.
Okay.
I like being out of the box. I don't believe in being in the box. I am the box.
I heard that.
Like that's
I love it.
That's the mindset that I have, which is why I do so many different things. And there's a quote, Grant Cardone. He says, the more I do, the more I realize I can do more.
Yes.
And so, it all started with personal training, and then, I have 7 different businesses, and not all of them, require my attention every week or every month. But when I have an idea for something, I just go and do it. And so, but anyway, they found enough value. I had enough content material for them to research me and ask me questions and make the decision. And we made things happen.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you learn to monetize your skills the way you've done?
How I learned? To be completely honest, some of it is conversations and communication with other business owners and entrepreneurs. One of my clients turned business partners. Her name is Kristen Ray. I call her the Amazon lady. She's kind of known as that.
Okay.
But she is awesome. I mean, she's a stay-at-home mom. Married with 2 kids. Runs all of her business out of her house, but she has more businesses and projects that even I know of.
Yes.
I mean, I'm always finding stuff out that she's got something going on. She just hit me up the other day about a proposal to do social media work for another company or business here in town, and I was taking a nap. Like, she was going. Her kids are in school, her husband's at work, and she's just one of those creative minds, and so am I, and so that's why we gel so well. But it really does speak to when they say you are the sum of the people you hang around.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very careful about that. There's a lot of money in this town. For whatever reason, I've been to the local country club a lot more often than I can keep track of.
Yes.
And I don't even have a country club membership.
I heard that.
I just get invited to these things. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that all has to do with the energy that you have about yourself. The focus that you have on your craft and what it is that you do. I think it says a lot about, people like us who want to help others, and that's what people like, you know what I mean? And so, when you put yourself in those situations and you come at things with that kind of mentality and energy, like nowadays, I'm not surprised when things like that happen. Like, it's always cool in the moment, but I'm like, yeah, this is what I asked for. This is what I deserve.
Yes.
Because of what I put out there. I don't put it out any negativity, no comments or anything on my social media. I do a thing on Fridays called Feel Good Friday that I got from the Jordan Harbinger Show, which is another great podcast. And every Friday, I'm always putting something positive in the news out.
Nice.
And that's just what I want to do. That's under my control, and a lot of people need to understand the people that are around you is also under your control.
True.
And so at the end of the day, I just learned a lot about how to I just learned a lot about monetization from other business owners, CEOs, presidents of SVPs at big name companies here in town. You just begin to attract people based on the energy that you give out. And a lot of these people are my clients, so I'm talking shop with them, every week, every time I see them.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me again, what was your partner's name? I want to look her up.
Yes, her name is Kristen Rae, R-A-E. She's been quoted and publicized in a lot of stuff, HuffPost, I think Washington Post even, on Amazon. They're doing a small business they're doing something with small businesses where they want to give them the platform and the opportunity to reach a larger consumer base. And obviously Amazon has the largest consumer base that I know of on the planet. So, just to give people the opportunity, and she was one of the first ones that they reached out for. So. Nice.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, give us business owners some advice on monetizing.
Some advice. Let's see. First and foremost, I truly do believe. I just sent out something today that nothing worth doing can be done alone.
Yes.
And when you surround yourself with like-minded individuals, even through this podcast and everything that I'm talking about is through either personal experience or something that I've listened to. So first and foremost is education.
Yes.
Educate yourself. Talk to people who've been through it, and then use what you learn to your benefit and just be actionable about it. There's no book, there's no podcast even, not even a conversation that you're having that is going to be worth anything if you do not act upon it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
A dream is just a dream if you don't act on it.
I agree.
If you act on it, then it's a plan.
Right.
And so, you have to plan on doing what it is that you want to do and be willing to fail. But, as Denzel Washington says, always, fail forwards. That's number one is education, what it is that you want to do and learn about it. Most likely, there's a really good chance you're not the first to do it. So,
sure.
It's 2019, there's a lot of people that have done it. We stand on the shoulders of giants. So, the path has been paved for a lot of us. So do your due diligence and get out there. There's no excuse to say, I don't know. The information, highway is vast. So take advantage of it. The next thing is to, like I said, is to take action. Just go out there and do it. If you want to start small, start small. But, start in a way that speaks to you. Start in a way that feels right to you. It may not necessarily be the correct thing, quote unquote, but, when you're just starting off, there really is no such thing, in my opinion. I have another business that I'm working on. It's called Eatology, where we are creating meals kind of like Hello Fresh or, those prepared meals that people can just order.
Yes.
But the goal is to utilize local farms only.
Nice.
For the outsourcing. And so McLean County has the richest soil in the nation. And so we want to take advantage of that. There's not a lot of restaurants around here that do.
Okay.
And so, you know what I mean? And so, I'm not sure where I was going with that. When I was sharing this with people who, again, they own their own businesses and stuff like that, I was told to start in our own kitchen.
Sure.
And that's a nice idea. The thing you'll learn about me is that I take advice and I'll usually kind of go above and beyond. So when somebody says start small, I'm like, I'm gonna go a little bit bigger than that. Simply because, I have the resources, and again, why not take advantage of that? So if you are a resourceful person and you have people, you have connections, take advantage of it.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And, if you have favors, call them in, or whatever the case, whatever you feel is the right choice for you, do that. Always go with your gut. Because, your gut isn't always right, but again, this is how you become successful. Sometimes you have success from making good decisions.
Yeah.
You get those good decisions from experiences, and you get those experiences from making the wrong decisions.
Of course.
And so, and that's why you got to just go with what you feel and just know and trust that you're going to wake up the next day and be like, okay, let's do that a little bit differently. Let's not do that again. So you definitely cannot be afraid of, taking that first step, because it's the most important step. It's the hardest step. It's the scariest step.
I totally agree.
But it needs to happen.
That's the truth there.
Mm-hmm. And as far as monetizing it, there's a bunch of different ways. We have Venmo, we have Cash App, we have all these different means of PayPal.
Mm-hmm.
We have all these different means of getting money for things. It's really that simple, is to provide a service. And oftentimes when you provide a service, people will ask you, okay, well, how much is that? And you may not know, but you may say something like $50.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And they pay you $50, and there you go. You just got paid.
Right.
That's all there is to it. You know how to monetize it. There you go. But I think that's the easiest way, is to provide a service.
Right. Okay.
Everybody has a need, and usually all inventions come from something that the inventors needed themselves. It just wasn't available. And so they said, well, this doesn't exist, so I'm going to make it exist.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
If you don't have money for clothes, but you're a seamstress and you can buy materials, you can make clothes. It may not be the fashionable, the hottest thing on the streets, but it's what you need.
Yes.
And a lot of these things that we have today came out of a necessity. So look for a need, fill it, and, don't be afraid to ask money or ask for money.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That you laid it out. That's all of that's real and basically comprehensive on the things that I've been learning in my research and talking to people. So you hit it on the nail. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So what's your favorite part of producing videos for your clients?
My favorite part is the creativity.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is, a lot of people will do collaborations and they'll sit around a table and talk about, what they want it to look like and things of that nature. I actually don't work that way.
Okay.
And I think that, my thing is this: if you want something created, it's not necessarily because, some people know exactly what they want.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing is, you know what you want from your point of view. So why don't you allow me to get to know you as a business owner, get to know your business, walk around, if it's, a place that you can, walk in or whatnot, and feel it and learn it and understand it. I'm a spiritual brother.
Okay.
So
I appreciate that.
When I feel good, right? So when I feel good about something, I'm going to go for it. And, you know, I'm not infallible, but, you know, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But, generally, if I have a good feeling on something, I'm going to do it. And that's why I called you, or I reached out to you, because I felt that it was the right time.
It's awesome.
Because I have a lot of knowledge and wisdom and information to give and, you know, to help people with. And I feel comfortable about that. A lot of people do, but they don't feel comfortable doing it because they feel like they're going to be wrong.
Real talk.
Right? But basically, you know, like with Green Top in particular, when they called me, or, you know, when they reached out to me, I knew what the commercial was going to look like. I already knew.
Wow.
Because I'm an owner. I shop there. There are people that I know who help run it. And so when we talk about vision, I'm not sure if everyone has vision. You know, I'm sure you can learn stuff about people, but there are people who are visionaries. I agree. And, you know, there are people who have creativity, and creativity is one of those things that's sort of dying in schools, you know, these days in particular. So, you know, there are a lot of us, and you know, a lot of people still have creativity, whether they learn it in school or not. You just have it. So it's just one of those things that you have. But I try to allow people to trust in me, and to give me the autonomy to, you know, create the shots, to create the video as I see it. And then I develop a draft, of course, to let them watch it. The music, I'm very musically oriented. I don't play any instruments, but, you know, I can't read music to save my life. But when I played the recorder back in school, I played it by ear. Okay. So I would listen to how it's played and then play it accordingly. Nice. And so, you know, when I'm making these videos, I just make the videos as I see it. And I show it to them, and they say, oh, I like this. But, you know, the key in filmmaking is to have enough B-roll, is you know, is to have enough material to where they say, do you have, you know, this shot showing this? And, you know, if you have it, great, put that in there, and then it becomes more of what it is that they wanted to see. Yes. But in general, you know, when it comes to my favorite parts is basically just letting people do what you do best. Yes. You know, like you called me. Right. So let the professional do what they do, and then, you know, we can, you know, let me come up with the plan, and then, you know, let's talk about the plan together to see, you know, how we can tailor that. And that's how I do my personal training. You know, that's pretty much how I do everything. How you do anything is how you do everything. I love it. When did you decide that production was one of your skill sets? You kind of answered that earlier, but I wanted you to get back into it a little bit. Right. When I decide, when I started to enjoy it, and these days I realize how important my time is. So I only spend my time on things that I enjoy. And the more time I spend on things, the more obsessive I become with it. I'm also a published author, and so... Oh, congratulations. Thank you. I would write articles for magazines. I have a blog that I do every now and then, but if I'm not on it or I'm not in it, I'm not going to do it. But like I said, the whole production and making videos came out of a necessity to promote my own personal training business. Yes. And so with social media today and how, you know, quickly the new becomes old, you have to be, you know, it requires repetition. It requires a lot of posts, a lot of creativity, and just getting your stuff out there. I don't necessarily do the flashiest stuff, but my thing is quality. And so focusing on making quality videos for my clients is how it started. And then, I'm an amateur power lifter as well. So making videos of my workouts, which also doubles as, sort of training videos for my clients.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I do.
And that's the other thing too, when you build an empire, I don't know how it is for other people, but you sort of have a centered, like a centralized focus.
Mm-hmm.
on the thing, and then everything builds off of that. So every single one of my businesses has been built off of personal training, which is, helping people in that sense. And so, but yeah, just making videos is fun. It's the newest thing. I like showing my dad. I like showing my family.
Yeah.
I don't really travel back home. I don't really see them that much, which, if you're building your own business and you're building your own brand, you're gonna know. And as you said, with all your travel and stuff like that, you got away from podcasting earlier on.
Right.
The same, the same is gonna be like that for families sometimes. And you just hope that they understand. And fortunately, I have a good, solid core group of people that, hey, it's holiday season. They know to ask, when am I going to see you? When are you going to come home? Which is always nice. I'm a best man in 2 weddings this month.
Aw,
and
congratulations. That's fun.
I don't really see them much. I don't really talk to them much, but they know, they know and understand what I'm doing. And the really cool thing is that because of social media, they can see it.
Yeah.
So, they see what I'm doing. They see how it's impacting people, and they can tell how much I enjoy it.
Yes.
But yeah, the whole production thing came out of a necessity, and it's just something that I love and enjoy to do. And being able to make videos and content for other folks. My personal mission statement is that I am here, on this earth to give people a better chance at living the life that they want to live.
Yes,
so
I love it.
I don't boil it down to being a personal trainer. I have a lot of other skill sets. I can write, I can make videos, I can, I have conversations with folks and elevate them in some sort of way. And so that's pretty much where the whole production thing and enjoying that came from.
That's amazing. Now you say back home. Where's back home?
Just Southside Chicago.
Okay, gotcha.
My people are spread over everywhere. My dad lives in Indiana, which in Lansing, Indiana, so that's not too far from where I grew up.
Mm-hmm.
I got people in Riverdale, Dalton. My brother's down here at ISU, but when he goes back home, in Dalton. I got family in, pretty much everywhere, but Southside Chicago is my home.
I got you.
Mm-hmm.
I've been there 3 times.
Okay.
It was pretty cool. I like Chicago. As long as I'm not there when it's cold, I'm good.
Yeah, you know what? I actually don't mind the cold.
Good for you.
One day. Well, I think about it this way. One day last year was actually colder than the Antarctica, or than the Antarctic. I think it was like minus 67. And the reason why I like the cold is because there's not a lot of choices here in the Midwest. You either get summer or winter.
I agree.
And right now it's a little bit of fall weather, so that'll last for a little bit. But the way that I see it, like when it's hot, it's hot. There's nothing you can do about it. You can walk down the street naked. It just doesn't work that way. But when it's cold, you know what I'm saying? When it's cold, just layer up. Turn the heat on. Sit by the fire. Drink some hot cocoa with some Baileys in it or whatever. that's manageable. So I just look at it from a practical sense. Like, I'd rather it be cold, not all the time, but when it's wintertime, I mean, it is what it is.
No, I feel you. I've been living in St. Louis for the last 8 years.
Oh, okay.
So I get it. I already get it. And I'm originally I'm from Dallas, but I've been living in St. Louis for 8 years, so I already know. Like,
okay, you already know what it is.
I already know, and I'm here back in Dallas, and I'm just laughing because it's a perpetual summer here. Like it's like today is October 7th. Today's the first day that it hasn't been like waking up being like 88, 90 degrees. So it's like it's 60 something degrees today, but that's the first time since I've been down here since I guess the beginning of August, and it's been 90 degrees every day. So I definitely get what you're saying.
Right. And the other thing too is that, last December I was in Miami for the weekend.
Okay.
And I'm like, yo, this is dope.
Yeah.
Like I don't mind going back home to 30 degree weather or whatever, because I know this exists.
It is. I know. It's lovely.
and it was so funny that the residents are jumping out of the water. It's like 75 and it's like cold to them. And I'm like, yo, crazy.
They have no idea.
Yo, crazy.
That's great. I like your products on Store Envy. Did you design your own clothing line?
I do. My business partner Kristen Ray started that off for me, and so that was another business avenue that I started to go down. It started with Amazon, a few pieces on there.
Okay.
But then we discovered Store Envy, and just the process for that is so easy. It's so easy. So for anybody looking to get their start in fashion, I mean, you just put your logo on there, whatever designs, and they'll print them on there for you. The warehouses are American, you know, and so feel really good about that. But yeah, that's my athleisure / home decor line on Store Envy, and I get a lot of stuff for clients off of there. Obviously a lot of that stuff is fitness based. Like I said earlier, everything sort of revolves around fitness and personal training in the gym and stuff like that. So
yes.
But I'm starting to get more into more casual wear. So there's some pieces coming out in the fall that I've got out, but it's not available on online yet. So I gotta do a little video shoot, a little photo shoot with that of myself, and my brother agreed to assist me this time. So gonna get him on there. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Nice. That's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So I created this interview series called Black Influencers Values a few years ago. And my whole goal for putting the questions together was to basically get in the head of like highly motivated people, just to find out what's in their heads and what makes them tick and that kind of sort of thing.
Word.
So,
like that.
Thanks. So the first question is, describe yourself in 3 words. Hello? Hello?
If you're on mute, I can't hear you.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you now.
Okay. So I was the first question is, describe yourself in 3 words.
Ooh. 3 words. Wise. Charismatic.
Okay. What was that fleeting moment in your life that catapulted you to your present self, but certainly could have really gone the other way?
My divorce.
Okay. What are your morning and nightly rituals?
Let's see. In the morning, I wake up. I always make my bed, or I use the bathroom, whichever comes first. I take my dog out, and while I'm doing that, I'm brushing my teeth because I don't need two hands to take my dog out. Depending on the day, I make coffee. If I'm working out, I don't make coffee because that's too much stimulant, or I don't want to get addicted to caffeine because I take a pre-workout.
Okay.
When I train. And actually, as of late, I started watching stand-ups, little comedy stand-ups on Facebook for whatever reason.
Okay.
They started popping up from like Comedy Central or somewhere. And I realized, I feel really good right now because that shit was funny and I'm laughing. And it's a new thing that I'm starting my day with. So outside of getting ready for work and, taking care of my dog and, other duties, I'm laughing the whole way through it. And on the way to work, I'm listening to a podcast of sorts, whether it's on sports or something educational, professional development, or just self-development. And I have a mantra that I do on my way to work while I'm listening to that. So I am filling my entire head, my entire day, or my morning, I guess, before I even get to work, with all of this positivity and happiness and affirmation. And at night, I'm usually watching something on YouTube, learning about something, but and I need to get back into it. But I used to read books before I went to bed. Some of the books by my bed is A Hustler's Bible by Gaten McKenzie. Simon Sinek, Start With Why. The Sports Gene by David Epstein. That was an interesting one. Essentialism by Greg McCown. And They Call Me Coach by Coach John Wooden. He's the UCLA coach back in the day.
Okay.
And that's just right by my bed. That's the book that I've done. And the diffuser. I go to bed, and I do about a 3 to 5 minute affirmation before I go to bed. So that's the last thing that I do before I go to sleep.
Nice. Who should I interview next?
Cool. Well, I think this one was pretty good. So to me, that just says whatever your intuition with regards to who you reach out to, I think is going to be correct.
Yes, thank you. Who is your target audience and your self-proclaimed niche, talent, and our gifts?
My target audience are people who are really wanting to make a change for themselves, first and foremost. I don't really spend my time with people who make excuses. When people are tired of their own BS, they're going to get a lot less of other people's BS given to them. And so, if you are tired of making your own excuses, you're going to be tired of people making theirs. And so you're essentially going to separate. You're going to find yourself drifting away from those people if that is, in fact, the type of mindset that you have. And that's a very important part in being
Kind of. What would you say your self-proclaimed niche talents and our gifts?
Niche, yes. Just people with a strong, powerful mindset that is the complete opposite of a victim mentality. I just told you about, not in great detail, of some of my situations, but if you have the mindset of, I'm going to get out of this and I would be better for it, and in helping myself, I'm helping other people in the process, that's the group of people that I want to mess with.
Yes. What did the young you envision, see, think? I'll get another call. What did the young you envision, see, think, or was told to make you impact people the way you do?
Well, what I saw, because I grew up in a broken household, and I was given the opportunity to choose to live with my father or my mother. And I chose my father simply because he took me to baseball games and practices.
Okay.
And so that ended up being the right choice, because what I saw was his work ethic. Coming from the projects and moving to a nicer neighborhood, which is where I ended up going to high school, which happens to be one of the top high schools in the state. And so watching how he moved, understanding it, I understood it then, but I understood even more that later on, why he wasn't at my practices, why he only came to certain games, but he came to my championship games.
Yes.
And so, having said that, I always had a winner's mentality. I won at a lot of things. And so when I was younger, when I got a taste of winning, I wanted to become a world champion. I wanted to become a champion. And I ended up becoming that in the sport of powerlifting. I became a world champion. I became a 3-time national champion, and I owned several records across different federations.
Nice.
And so, it's important to experience success, but it's also important to learn from failures. I didn't really focus on a lot of that when I was younger. Like I said, growing up in a rough neighborhood, growing up in a broken home, those are things that I didn't really focus on. I focused on the good things. I focused on my family's love, my father's love, the fun I had playing sports, and I think a large part of that was I wasn't held back which is to say, you can't do this, you can't do that. I was given the freedom to explore, different sports and different things to study and learning things. I grew up in a household with jazz and, funk, and, I loved music. And so, in the high school, I discovered rock and roll and rap and hip hop and all these things. And so now I love all different kinds of music and how experimental and how therapeutic, and just a different way to learn about different cultures and learn about different things, and ultimately be able to connect with those things. But the younger me had a lot of freedom to move around and to do things, and I don't know, maybe some of it was an escape from what was going on in the household, but I definitely remember things in a much more positive light that I attribute to my success today.
Yeah. What is your favorite book, song, and quote, and why?
Ooh, I got quotes for days, but oh man, I think my favorite book is I'm gonna have to go with the most recent one that I read from David Goggins. Man, I can't can't remember the name of that book, but if those of you who are listening and know about David Goggins, he's a retired Navy SEAL, and you know, he just talks about just basically just owning your life and not being a victim, and I think that's one of the reasons why it's my favorite book, is because it reminded a lot about me.
Yeah.
And just sort of reinforce that. And I think a lot of people need to read more of that stuff. I mean, obviously learn more about a lot of other stuff, but I think a lot of people are ashamed, and understandably so, of where they came from. You know, it's nothing to brag about coming from a rough area or a rough neighborhood in a world where things are so sensitive now.
Mm-hmm.
But just understanding that, you know, you're not the only one that's been in these situations. The Hustler's Bible is another really good one from Gate McKenzie. That's the one of the books, physical books that I have right now.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the David Goggins ones because I gave that away to somebody. I was like, I can't keep this book. Like, I got to share it with somebody.
Yeah.
So, but that's one. You said favorite song?
And quote.
Song and quote. Like, okay. Favorite song. Wow. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm feeling some type of way about Post Malone's Wow. I think that is my personal... I think that is my personal anthem right now.
Okay.
I just listen to that song, I'm like, yo, that's me. So, you know, I'm always putting that on when I'm feeling myself on a Friday. I'm like, that's when I'm walking down the street, that's what I'm listening to.
And you said Post Malone?
Post Malone, yeah. Post Malone, Wow. WOW. Yeah, it's a dope song. It's just, I just vibe with it very well. But the quote, man, that is a tough one. Wow. I mean, just for the sake of time, I think the one that I mentioned earlier about that Grant Cardone said, the more I do, the more I realize I can do more. And I think that is 1,000% true about me. A lot of the stuff that I do now is because I had no fear.
Yes.
It's because I'm not afraid to take risks. I'm not afraid to fail. And if it works out, great. If it doesn't, that's okay. But I think that is the undeniable truth for anyone and everyone. And I think that's one of the reasons why it's my favorite quote.
Nice.
Yeah.
Name 2 things you want to tell the world.
2 things I want to tell the world.
Mm-hmm.
I think one thing I want to tell the world is that your life truly is what you make it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've given you a glimpse about my upbringing and my life experiences, and I think a lot of people could take those and use excuses as to why they are at where they're at, as opposed to reasons why they are successful. But I mean, man, like I'm a big believer, having said all that, like having a positive mindset, like wherever your mind is, that's where you are in the world. There's a lot of happy homeless people out there. There's a lot of people who don't have arms or legs that make more money than you and I and are happy. So we have all of these examples of, you know, happiness and prosperity But, the pursuit of happiness is real. And the emphasis on that is pursuit.
Yes.
You have to be active in it. Like I said, I am a spiritual man. I know a lot of people are religious, and I respect that. And I had a client who became a deacon, and his thesis was being active in your prayers. Was being active in what it is that you pray about. So, having said all that, a lot of people, they want to be in better situations. They want to have more money. They want to be happier, but aren't really active in doing it. People want to lose weight and stuff like that, but they go about it in ways that are very, that doesn't require a lot of work. And so I think alongside of that, the other thing that I want to tell the world is everything has a consequence.
Yes.
If you go through life believing or thinking that there are no consequences for doing good things, you're fooling yourself. Because I'm doing a lot of good. I believe that. I believe that because I want it to be true. But the consequence of that is time away from home, time away from friends, time away from family. And I have to be okay with that. I have to realize that that is the cost. And so, there is an absolute cost to everything. If you want that nice bike, if you want that nice ride, if you want some, get that come up, hey, it's going to take some sacrificing. It's going to cost something. So I think as long as people go about life understanding that and accepting that and expecting that, I think you're going to have a much enjoyable life.
Yes. Are you a saver or a shopper? And the second part is, what are your financial strategies?
If saver and shopper on two ends of the spectrum, I am more on the shopping side. But however, I have crept more towards the savings side. I actually have a savings now.
Yes.
Which, for a lot of people, if you're starting your own business and you are funding it, that's the part that a lot of people miss. You cannot. Well, I won't say you cannot, but it's more realistic to expect that you won't really make money early on.
Yeah.
If you do, hey, that's awesome. You must be doing something right, or whatever you have going on just caught fire and put you in that situation. But for a lot of us, for the rest of us, you're going to learn to ball on a budget. Some people want to ball hard. Some people want to ball big. Look, if you got your own thing going on, you better learn how to ball on a budget.
You're right.
So always looking for sales. And I've always told myself this, that, if a lot of money comes in or if good money comes in, like, people need to understand that's how you get wealth, is not by spending, but reducing your expenses. And so when you don't have credit card debt, student loan debt, a car note, whatever, the money that you can get rich off of the money you have coming in, just by simply reducing your expenses, simply just by not buying a lot of stuff that isn't going to make you money. So that was the other thing that I had to learn over the last few years of becoming an entrepreneur is, if I'm going to buy something, I'm going to look at it as, how can it make me money?
Yeah.
So, I've never really owned Jordans, right? And coming from the hood, that's like
the thing.
That's the thing. some people might call it immature, but I look at it this way. I own my own clothing line now.
Yes.
I'm basically modeling my own stuff. So I'm going to buy these shoes, right? This is how I rationalize. I'm going to buy these shoes, and these are the shoes that I'm going to wear with my outfits in my photo shoots, or in my promo videos, or whenever I go to, you know what I'm saying? Whenever I go to meet and greets, you know, I don't show up looking like a bum. you know what I'm saying?
I do.
And that's the other thing too. Always dress to impress. I don't care if you go into the grocery store. I don't care if you're going to the laundromat. You never know who you run into.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
I do.
You out there, you know, pumping gas. Like the car I got turns heads. And that's why I got it. That's exactly why I got it, because I'm my own business. So if you run your own business, if you have your own business or have the aspiration to be a business owner, what have you, understand you are your own business. The reason why I've been doing what I'm doing as a trainer for very long is because I learned the two biggest rules of success in this industry. Number one, get really effing good at what you do. And number two is let everyone know about it.
Yes.
That's it. So how do you do that without even speaking to anyone? Well, you be that dude, or you be that woman, or you be that person with the nice lineup, the nice hair. You know what I mean? Presentable, professional. When you are in line and you are ordering something from Chipotle, you speak clearly, concise. You speak with, you know, with certainty, with a smile on your face. Hey, how you doing? Everything. How you do anything is how you do everything. So if you want to be successful, be like, at least look the part.
No, that's right. Yeah, I do.
Because people are gonna look at you at a certain way, and especially as you know, African Americans and people of color, brown people, like we already at a disadvantage. My grandmother always said, "Hey, if you want to get ahead in life, have good credit, because that opens doors." And now, as a man, I'm saying, be the black person that white people want to mess with.
Yeah.
As a black man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
And so a lot of my business is with, you know, white people, and that's how I have a lot of success. I speak a certain way, you know. I dress a certain way, but I dress a certain way that feels comfortable to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
I do.
I can roll up and feel good in a pair of Jordans, or you know, in you know what's considered to be urban wear, whatever. But I'm clean, like I'm fresh. Like people are checking me out, and it may sound conceited, but from a business standpoint, you don't go to the CEO office and have a conversation with the CEO and the president, you know, looking like you're not supposed to be there.
Right.
Like, they have to take you seriously. Mind you, you are a person of color. If you are listening to this, you are a person of color.
Right.
So you are already at a disadvantage. People are going to look at you and look for reasons not to mess with you.
Facts.
First and foremost. So you have to give them you have to strip away those reasons and say, this person spoke well. This person's educated. This person looks the part. I wonder what they do. I wonder what he does or she does. You know, and to get them thinking differently about you and about people of color, like, you know, maybe I might give people a chance. And so that's why when I make posts about, you know, doing videos with Green Top and stuff like that, you know, I'm like, hey, listen, this is what happens when you support black businesses.
Mm-hmm.
I want to change the narrative. And if I'm not going to do that globally, nationally, I'm going to do that locally. I'm going to do that starting with me as soon as I walk out the door.
Yes.
People are going to turn their heads. They're going to see that dude driving that car. They're going to see that dude with that swagger walking up to them. They're going to hear me speak, and they're going to see me work. And they're going to say, I'm glad I messed with that guy, who happens to be black, by the way.
I love that.
And so for me, that's how you're able to change that narrative. That's my strategy anyway.
Thank you. That's perfect.
Word.
Do your key values and life mission speak first to your race and then the world, vice versa, or that is not a thought of yours as you live day to day?
That's a good question. To be honest, I think for me, it's more important to be aware.
Okay.
Of my race, to be aware that I am a black man in this world, first and foremost. Every day I wake up, I look in the mirror, and I am reminded visually of who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is what people see. Okay. So, this is what I'm bringing to the table, but things change when they experience you. Things change when they hear you speak, when they are in your presence. And so there is a certain way that you have to carry yourself. I used to hear it all the time, especially from women. Oh, he's fine until he opened his mouth. and that's true for every situation, whether it's something they said or something they did or something you heard that they did, and you're like, man, so I don't necessarily, feel like I have to carry, my quote unquote black card with me.
Okay.
Like I don't feel like I have to speak, Ebonics with anybody, or, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I do.
that I have to talk about hip hop or basketball or football or anything like that. Like I said, I don't live in a box. I am the box.
Yes.
So if we're going to talk basketball, we're going to talk basketball because I'm a sports guy. And, again, being the only person of color at the gym that I'm at, or most often in any place I walk into around here,
mm-hmm.
like that's what it is. But at the end of the day, the truth of the matter is that people want to mess with people that make them feel good about themselves, that make them feel safe. And if people were to see me walking down the street and walk the other way, that ain't got nothing to do with me.
Sure.
Like, I know that for a fact. Because if they talk to me, like a lot of people that I work with would consider me their confidant, their therapist.
Mm-hmm.
But that's because I know how to listen. And people are not going to open up to you if you are the kind of guy that is standoffish.
Thanks.
And, some people are, but I feel like a lot of the time people don't realize that. They don't recognize it. And nowadays, I just have this energy, this aura about me where for whatever reason, people just open up to me and tell me stuff that others might seem like a little too personal.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I just see it as them being them. And the best way, the reason why that I see it, that they can do that with me is because I'm open and upfront with them. So, I mean, that's a long answer to the question, but yes, I realize my race in the situation, but only if it serves me.
Yeah.
And so I don't think it's advantageous to be in a situation that you want to have happen to pull that out every single time. I mean, unless they walk around like Stevie Wonder and don't know what your race is,
yeah.
You don't need to tell them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's,
I do.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay. When you have something that's super important to you, what do you tell yourself to get pumped?
To get pumped?
Yep.
I don't need to say anything. I feel it.
Okay.
And I believe, I want to be transparent and not be like, to at least give y'all something to go off of. I think a lot of that has to do with those positive affirmations that I say to myself. I am the best at what I do. I am, and what I say to myself has nothing to do with anybody else.
Of course.
This is all about me. Because when it comes to situations and things like that, like I'm the one in the situation.
Right.
So when I tell people who work with me for the first time, as a trainer, I'm like, listen, I'm the best option you have until you find something better.
Nice.
And that's how I have to go into it. So whether it's being a personal trainer in the gym, whether it's, doing video production for other people, I got into a debate the other day with someone that was talking to me about being humble.
Mm-hmm.
And, mentally, I'm smacking them across the face. Like, for real. Like myself and one of my other clients, Professor Andrew Hartman, humble is probably one of the most overused and misused words in the English language.
Mm.
Like, if you look it up, the word humble says that you think of yourself as less than.
Mm.
And in so many words, that makes absolutely no sense to me. How can I be humble in victory? You're
I heard that.
You're just not. You're humbled in defeat. And I've had a lot of defeats. I never lose, I learn. And I feel like people who do lose don't learn.
I heard that.
From their mistakes. You understand?
I do.
So, what was the question again?
We have something that's super important to you. What do you tell yourself to get pumped?
Super important, right. So, okay, so I started off right, and then I just got away from it. No, it's having those positive affirmations, and if it's a particular situation, like for instance, okay, on Friday, we had our first shooting of the commercial at the Green Top grocery store. I said, hey, I was telling myself that things are going to go as planned.
Mm-hmm.
Things are going to go smoothly. Everybody's going to have fun. Everybody's going to be excited. And they were.
Yeah.
It was 6 o'clock in the morning. There were kids there. They were awake. They were excited. People were there before they went to work, and kids before they went to school.
Mm-hmm.
People were shopping because they had the opportunity to do so while they were there. So that way, that was part of the deal, is to open up the lines for them and make it convenient for them, I mean, if we're not going to pay them and they're going to be walking around the store, well, I don't know if they're going to get paid or not, but if they're going to be walking around the store at 6 o'clock in the morning, pretending like they're shopping, like let's make it worth their while.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And anyway, that's exactly how it was. And somebody asked me afterward, how did it go? And I was like, it went better than expected because I felt it. Like, you know how you walk in the room, you're like, I don't know if I should be here. The vibes ain't right.
Yeah.
There's something that don't feel right. Like, that's real.
It is real.
Listen to that, you know, right? So, and yo, like, the weather was great. It was the first, I think it was like 44 degrees or something like that. It was cold. It was crisp.
Yes.
But, I mean, you weren't outside. So, you know, you walking around in there, you sweating, you working, you come out, you feel great. The sun was up. It didn't rain.
Nice.
Like, I mean, it was a nice fall morning, a nice autumn morning. And, yeah, people had a really great time. They're very excited about the product, as am I. And, you know, I think it's important for people who are in a really tough situation. Like, you got to ask yourself, man, like, from a mentality standpoint, what's the alternatives to thinking positively about your situation? Like, I'm not saying it's easy, but what's the alternative? And so this is why I practice gratitude every day, every morning, every night. A few weeks ago, when school started, I foolishly left my car unlocked, and my car was not vandalized, but people stole. You know, it's probably kids, but people stole my stuff out of my wallet, change out of my car.
Oh no!
And got the numbers off my credit card or debit card. You know what I'm saying? And so now I have my wallet inside my apartment at night. You know, and that's but that was a situation that could have ruined my day. I think that was like on a Monday or a Tuesday. That was early on in the week.
Mm-hmm.
Could have messed up my week.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I haven't even started my day yet. All right. So I'm going to call Discover, let them know there's been a fraudulent charge. And, you know, like a lot of companies, they say, okay, this charge is not your fault. We'll put the money back on there, and we'll ship out your card within the next few days or whatever. Mm-hmm. Boom. Situation handled. Debit card, same thing. Boom. Situation handled. And that was it. So I wasn't, fortunately, I wasn't out very much of anything, but I had the wherewithal to make the calls and explain the situation and stuff like that. But it was under my control.
Yes.
And so that's what I focused on. Okay. I sat in that car. I was like shaking. Like I was upset more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
But before I even drove off, I just sat there. I was like, okay. They left everything else. You know? I'm good. I'm gonna be okay. Like this sucks, but I'm gonna be alright.
Yes.
And I think that's extremely important. That's an extremely important mindset to have, especially when you live in America. You know, I understand and I'm aware that a lot of other places around the world don't have it like we have it.
Right.
But man, when we have it like we have it, we got to focus on what we got and not what we don't have.
No, I agree.
And so, but, you know, well, when it comes to, you know, what do you tell yourself to get yourself pumped up, the number one thing is gratitude.
Yes.
And visualization. Visualize getting the thing that you're looking for. Visualize the thing that you're about to get into. Doesn't matter if it's a first date, first day on the job, you know, presentation at work, whatever the case may be, long trip across the country, visualize yourself getting there. You know?
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Name 5 people that you know that embody instrumental traits children should emulate.
Oh, man. 5 people that children should emulate.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you said that, the first person that came to my mind was Serena Williams.
What's the name?
Serena.
Okay.
Serena Williams. Children should emulate. Man, I like. And I'm just starting to think of people that I see a lot of the times, right? So, I see a lot of The Rock, Dwayne Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's very good at pushing the whole being grateful and things like that, and the attitude of gratitude and stuff like that. I think that's one of the biggest traits about him that stands out to me that children should have. Children should have, as opposed to adults, right?
Right.
Dang. There's not a lot of kids that I know out there that I could just point my fingers to. It's not a name per se, but I would say, somebody like that's sort of like a big brother or a big sister to them.
Mm-hmm.
And just watching them, how they move and how they treat other people. I saw on TV the other day, I think it was on Ellen, and these two black young men was helping out this white kid, and he saw that he was being teased for the clothes he was wearing at school, and they bought him like an outfit or some Jordans or some shoes or something like that. And it got blasted everywhere. And they ended up on Ellen, and Will Smith came out and gave him a whole wardrobe with his new clothes line and stuff like that. There's examples of just random people doing random things. And you know what? I don't care if it's real or fake. Like, just the fact that we can see that and that's happening, I think is a good start. I want it to be authentic, but we live in a world where, being fake is celebrated. And so, it's unfortunate, but I think, looking within, like, your own schools or somebody older than you as a kid, that you think is cool, but cool in a good, positive way, not because they're the bad boy or, they're the bad chick that, people give them the wrong attention for, you know what I mean? But for doing good things and for being celebrated as the guy who, or the girl that talks to everybody and is nice to everybody and stuff like that.
Yes.
Man, I would say myself, but I don't really connect with kids that well.
That's honest.
I just don't. I'm just gonna be honest with you. We have amazing coaches at my gym. And just watching them work with kids is amazing. I think working with kids as a whole, like teachers, I gotta get my hats off to teachers, man. I got clients who are teachers and principals, and just seeing what some of these teachers do and are selfless, I think are some of the biggest people, because they work with kids directly.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And some of my biggest influencers early on were teachers. So much so that, I even started writing like them. Because I thought they had amazing penmanship. And so now people today are like, man, you write, like, really good. And I'm like, I just think back to, third grade, Miss Hugo, and she was like, she was the best. Mainly because I had a crush on her. But, it is what it is. She helped me read, and, I had a very low reading level, and she helped me get there. Taught me how to read differently. That works for me. But yeah, I think any teacher that can make a serious impact in a child's life is, I mean, you want to talk about responsibility and gifts. Like, if you have the gift to be a teacher, I got friends who are teachers, and man, they are amazing with kids.
Yes.
I can only hope to see them be something one day or hear about them. Be like, that's so-and-so from my buddy's school back in the day. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. So, but yeah, that's all I can think of.
You did well. You did well.
Right now, I think I did all right. I think I weaseled out of that one.
I got one more list for you. Name 5 people that you know that are powerhouses in their industries.
Ooh, powerhouses. The one, I'm always watching Breakfast Club. I think Charlamagne the God is one. In terms of radio. Just because he's everywhere, and like him, he doesn't live in a box. He's on TV a lot. Getting interviews and stuff like that because of him being who he is and understanding that he is flawed and that he owns it. And I think that's very important as a man, especially in today's world, is to understand that you are not perfect, but you own it and you're getting better. I think that's huge, and one of the reasons why he's a powerhouse in what he does. Obviously, LeBron James in basketball, in terms of today, he's still playing, he's still in it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Back in my day, it was MJ, it was Jordan. And yeah, he's a billionaire now, but I look at things, living in today, the social, not the social dynamic, but just, socially what he has done, I think is profound. And, like him, he doesn't live in a box. He is in production as well, and TV, and I'm not mad at him for redoing Space Jam, but it is what it is. But MJ is still my guy. I'm gonna go watch it. I'm gonna check it out. But it is what it is. But and just what he's doing for kids and stuff like that, like really putting his platform to good use, I think is amazing.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of powerhouse. It's really kind of hard because the people that I'm thinking of, that I'm mentioning even now, do multiple things.
Sure, they can. Across
different streams. You know what I'm saying? So, I think Gary Vaynerchuk is another one.
You said who?
Gary V. He goes by Gary V. On social media because his last name is, in fact, hard to spell and to say. But Vaynerchuk, Gary Vaynerchuk. He's a huge social media guy. Very, very high energy, and it's just a no nonsense type of dude. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things that I absolutely love about him. He really inspires a lot of people to just get over their own BS. And like I said, when you get over your own stuff, other people won't want to give you theirs because they know you're not about it. So that's 3.
That's 3.
That's 2?
No, you got 3.
huge sports fan. I think Kobe has got to be one. And not just because of what he did, but because of what he's doing. Obviously, he won an Oscar, which, I mean, to do what he did in the NBA and to do what he's doing in filmmaking and storytelling and writing. And I think one of the reasons why is because of his attitude. Is because of his obsession to being great. He's fine with not being in basketball anymore. He's done with it. Now he wants to obsess and be great in other things.
Yes.
And after listening to that, I mean, I was already doing it. Not before him, but just, you know, when I heard that, I was like, yo, this is me. He's talking about me, you know. But just having that sort of Mamba mentality towards anything in life, towards everything in life, I think is what makes him a powerhouse for sure.
Yes.
I got one more, right?
One more.
Oh man. Dang, I had coffee and breakfast too. I think I would be being more clear. Powerhouse. Wow. See, when I think of powerhouse, I think of somebody who's undeniably great.
Yes.
And is currently at the top of what they do. Well, I mean, business-wise, it's got to be Jeff Bezos.
Okay.
I mean, richest man on the planet. Why not? And I think what's really great about all these people is knowing their story of how they came to be. A lot of people like what they see now, but and that's what they want. But when you show them how to get it, like with a lot of my clients, they're like, "Oh, I gotta do all that." I don't know if I really want it like that. You know what I mean?
I do.
All 5 of these individuals that I just named wanted it like that. And it either came out of a necessity to get out of a bad situation, or it came out of an obsession, out of passion. And ultimately, I think they leave, you know, the biggest impact in the world today.
Yes.
So, I think, yeah. With that being said, I'm pretty happy with that, with those 5.
Cool. And then our last question is, give us your website and your business names. You mentioned you had 7 businesses. That's amazing. So what's your website? How do we get in contact with you, and how do we do business with you?
Yes. Well, how you contacted me was just fine through Instagram. I manage a few IG handles, but my business page is train, as in trainer, train_with_Donovan on Instagram. My website, you can find me at trainwithdonovan.com. And on Instagram, there's a link in my bio, and it's a Linktree link, and it has the links to all of my businesses, my personal training business on Instagram and Facebook, Twitter, my website, my Southside Down Productions YouTube page. I upload videos of work that I've done so far for clients, as well as my Facebook page, Southside Down Productions. Yeah, that's the easiest way to get to me.
Awesome. It's been amazing talking to you, Donovan. You are amazing. I'm so proud of you. And you just,
you too.
I mean, You sound a lot like myself, and I'm inspired and motivated and pumped, and I'm really just proud of you and that you're doing such amazing work for us. And
Absolutely.
I'm grateful for you spending time with us on the podcast today. And I just want to thank you so much for coming on air.
Thank you. I was very excited to come out, and I'm not gonna lie, I listen to podcasts every single day. I don't even listen to the radio anymore. But I'm always listening to things and people that inspire me, and it's kind of crazy that I'm doing one of these. So it's you know, you always get back with what you put in, and things that you focus on becomes real. So if you focus on it long enough, and you're happy with what you do, these sort of things happen. And so I'm very grateful for you and everything that you do out here for us as well.
Thank you.
And I look forward to seeing more from you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, audience, for tuning in. Thanks for everybody who's been downloading the podcast, all the episodes. Make sure you go back and listen to the episodes. Make sure you write us a review on either the Anchor app or Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening to the podcast. You can also leave us a message if you download the free Anchor app. You can leave us a voice message in response to what you've heard or making suggestions on new topics for episodes. I'll make sure to play them on the next episode. And also make sure that you support the podcast. You can do that in several ways by, again, downloading the free Anchor app and supporting that way. If you give $9.99 monthly, I give 13% more of your donation. You can also give by PayPal and also Cash App, BNS LLC. All the information's on the show notes. Thank y'all again. It's been amazing. Thank you again, Donovan, and I'm signing out.
All right, peace.
Free your mind while it's time. What's up with that? I got one thing on my mind. Revolution. Yo, that's Pharaoh Jerome. Please make me die 1,000 deaths in a day, and then I won't jump in the front while you put it down for the new time. Put it down for the new time. Assalamu alaikum. Peace. Shalom, shalom. Hotel. Yeah, MIDT Records. B&B Productions. Rhythmic sound. Love to rap. Yo, check it out. And all your local neighborhood stores.
Pharaoh Jarumba, revolution is your solution.
Revolution is your solution. Your solution is revolution. And niggas are all scared of revolution. What is revolution? Revolution is real. Revolution is blood. Revolution is shedding a few tears. Crying apple tears. Revolution is your solution. Your solution is revolution. And niggas are all scared of revolution. What is revolution? Revolution is bloody. Revolution is a few tears. Revolution is 360 degrees. Revolution is change your mind while it's time. Free your mind. I am the Asiatic black man. The original man, the Asiatic black man. Just making the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, the God, the universe, and the father of all civilization. True black nation for our people. For no nation can rise higher than its queen. Woman always will be the giver of life. For we have come forth through her womb, and from her womb we have come forth. And into her womb we must return, because the womb represents the universe. For Allah says, I create myself in the womb of triple darkness. For Allah created He Himself from the womb of triple darkness. And the womb represents that the universe. For no nation shall rise higher than his queen. And all prophets come from the womb of that blackness called the goddess, called Aset, called the queen mother of the universe, mother of all civilization. For all nations sprang from your womb, the black goddess, the black queen. Revolution is your solution. Your solution is revolution. And niggas, and niggas are all scared of revolution. Nat Turner, the black revolutionary messiah. You devils, you crackers can't get no higher. Revolution is the solution. The solution is revolution. And niggas are all scared of revolution. Nat Turner. Yes, of course, they missed him upon the sycamore tree. Trying, dying to be free. Nat Turner, the black revolutionary messiah. The black revolutionary messiah. And you devils can't get no higher. Revolution is your solution. Your solution is revolution. And niggas, and Negroes are all scared of revolution. What is a Negro? Negro comes from necrology, where they put a hook on a C and they made it into a G, and they call it Negroology. For a Negro or Negroology represents a dead people or a dead race. People lost in bondage, kidnapped, held hostage in Acts chapter 7, verse 6 and 7. Or maybe Acts chapter 10, verse 39, where black people were hanged on trees like Jesus. Oh no, better yet, like Revelation, first chapter, verse 14 and 15 says Jesus had nappy hair just like me, trying to be free. Revolution is your solution. Your solution is revolution. Niggas are all scared of revolution. Revolution is your solution. Revolution is your solution. Revolution is your solution. Revolution is your solution. Niggas are all scared of revolution. But I'm not a nigga or a Negro. I'm a black nigga. And you are a black queen. You're a black queen. You're all together. You're a black goddess. And I am a black goddess. And from the womb I must return. He is the solution, and the solution is revolution. Before you speak of revolution, understand that you might be vaccinated for the ritual. Revolution is the solution, and the solution is revolution.
Check this out. Yo, them beats is poppin'. Check this out. St. Louis' very own hit record release. Love Song. By JCD, rap artist. Yeah, he's fat. Check this out. From MIDT Records, B&B Productions. Pick it up at your local neighborhood store. Sound.
Make it drip.
Make it drip, 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 make it drip.
In the club, get that bitch 100 ones. Get that bitch 100 ones. She gon' make that pussy make it drip, make it drip.
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 Look at that, look at that, look at that. Lil' baby a baddie, look with that backpack. All of that ass, I'm rolling up all of this gas. She tryna hold on to my pants. I know she got on a mask. I know she here for the cash. I know she just want the bag. I know I'm making her mad when it's fourth down, when we making a pass. Lights, cameras, he making her act. Make her back being off track, make her bend back after that. See, the fact is that ass fat. Add it up, adding all that. Count it up, spend all that. Pass him up, pass him right back. Fuck it up, get it right back. And then right back, cause it's like that. All ones for the hundreds. Make it rain with the money. She see a nigga from the bar. She know a nigga been a star. As she scream, as she coming.
Make it drip, 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 make it drip. In the club, get that bitch 100 ones, get that bitch 100 ones. She gon' make that pussy make it drip, 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 make it drip.
She seen me pull up, change the weather. She fell in love with the drip. She tryna bend over me backwards, tryna work for the tip. Baby, we don't do no acting, please stick to the script. Baby, when you get to trapping, work it like my wrist. Remember them time we was stunned, throwing some money, and them hard time we was hustled. On them good nights it was 100 on 100. She fell in love with the rain and the thunder. I fell in love with a little bit of money. I fell in love with a little bit of money. Remember them nights at the up to the sun. Remember them nights at the up to the sun. She super wet, so I'm calling her stormy. I may be throwing the drip to the morning. The ass was off, so I'm calling her show, man. I may be waiting for her till the morning.
Make it drip, 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 make it drip. In the club, get that bitch 100 ones, get that bitch 100 ones. She gon' make that pussy make it drip, 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 make it drip.
Akwaba means welcome in Ghanaian to a News You Can Use podcast powered by B and Us LLC. Thank you to our sponsors, Frenchies, Wonders, Healthy Place Botanicals. My name is Frenchier. I am the host and creator of a News You Can Use podcast along with the business B and Us LLC. That is also my business, Frenchies, Wonders, Healthy Place Botanicals, as the sponsors. Connect with us on social media. The word is B-E, then the word us, LLC on Facebook, at Frenchier, spelled Frenchaire, on Instagram, on Twitter, Miss Frenchie 06, MSFRENCHY 06. Watch and subscribe to the YouTube channel, B and Us LLC YouTube channel. Pin with us on Pinterest, Frenchies Wonders, FRENCHY '(S) Wonders, WONDERS. Shop with us at BEANDUSLLC.com. That's BeandUsLLC.com. BEANDUSLLC.com. And also Frenchies Wonders Healthy Place Botanicals.com. FRENCHIES.HEALTHYBOTANICALS.com. You can also get your own store. Book me for educational presentations or to discuss financial planning by filling out the form at friendsharegardner.com. I will come to you to present for a group of 10 or more the Power of Life, an hour-long Power of Life insurance seminar, or educate you on the benefits of your auto and home and renter's insurance, property casualty. That's friendsharegardner.com. FRENCHAIREGARDNER.com. That's FRENCHAIREGARDNER.com. That's my name. Fill out the form to book me now to come present the Power of Life Insurance 1 hour long seminar or educate you on the benefits and the structures of your property and casualty insurance. I am the webmaster and marketer for Amber Bookstore, LLC. And you can shop your African cultural, historical, children's books, fiction and nonfiction books, novels, health books at www.amberbookstores.com. That's amberbookstores.com. Thank you so much. Make sure that you download the Anchor FM app. It's an Anchor app. It's a free app. It's where I'm recording this podcast. You can download the app to leave messages that I will play on the next episode. So leave messages in response to what's been heard or to suggest topics or news that you can use. Leave us a message. Make sure you continue to click that purple support this podcast button on the Anchor app to contribute monthly to this podcast. When you contribute $9.99, I receive 13% more of each dollar that you donate. You can also donate directly through paypal.me/friendshare, paypal.me/FRENCHAIRE, or through Cash App, CASHAPP. I didn't mean to spell that. But my Cash App name is $BEANDUSLLC. That's $BNUS LLC. $BEANDUS LLC. Thank you so much for your support, your love, your Ujima, your cooperative economics. Everyone can show love to this black business. Thank you.
This is what y'all are doing? A music video? Said she tired, little money, need a big boy. Pull up 20-inch blades like I'm Lil Troy. Now it's everybody flocking, need a decoy. Shorty mixing up the vodka with the liquor. G-Wagon, 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 G-Wagon. All the housewives pulling up. I got a lot of toys. 720S pumping Fallout Boy. You was talking shit in the beginning. Back when I was feeling unforgiving. I know I pissed you off to see me winning. See the igloo in my mouth and I be grinning. Yeah. 100 bands in my pocket, it's on me. 100 deep when I roll like the army. Get more bottles, these bottles are lonely. It's a moment when I show up, God, I'm saying why. What's up? Good cameras a lot. 100 bands in my pocket, it's on me. Yeah, your grandma will probably know me. Get more bottles, these bottles are lonely. It's a moment when I show up, God, I'm saying wow. Everywhere I go, Catch me on the block like a Mutombo. 750 Lambo in the Utah snow. Trunk in the front like the shit Dumbo. Yeah. Cut the roof off like a nip tuck. Pull up to the house with some big butts. Turn the kitchen counter to a strip club. Me and Drake came for the. When I got quiet, all of y'all disappear. Before I dropped Sony, none of y'all really care. Now they always say congratulations to the kid. And this is not a 40, but I'm pouring out this shit. Used to have a lot, but I got more now. Made another hit, cause I got bored now. Always going for it, never pump fourth down. Last call, Hail Mary, Prescott, touchdown, yeah. 100 bands in my pocket, it's on me. 100 deep when I roll like the army. Get more bottles, these bottles are lonely. It's a moment when I show up, God, I'm saying wow. 100 bands in my pocket, it's on me. Yeah, your grandma will probably know me. Get more bottles, these bottles are lonely. It's a moment when I show up, God, I'm saying wow. Black like the dog. Black like the dog. You're a legend. You're a legend. You made.
That was Post Malone's Wow. And although he is not of African descent, we are playing this today because this was our Business Spotlight's Donovan Muldrow's favorite song. We do not own the rights to any of the music played on the News You Can Use podcast. Thank you.